Okay, so this poem, Things Fall Apart, is written by Jackie Kay, and it would appear that it conveys a personal journey of a young woman who is searching for her cultural identity. So it would appear that in this poem, cultural identity is a very prominent theme, and therefore we could say that this poem is also inscribed into post-colonialism literature, and it does have this reflection on colonialism and that era. So, first of all, so the fact that in this poem they say at one moment, now gone were the old tribal ways. So the use of the word now only emphasises the difference in between the before and the after. So the pre-colonialism and then the westernization. So how this poet is obviously very confused and doesn't know to which culture she belongs to. And it would appear that throughout the whole poem, African culture had been eradicated. The image of the strong, the hard brush. So Christianity has scrubbed his black face with a hard brush. So here, there's just as a personification of Christianity, and thus personification of the colonizers and them eradicating African culture. And so for her, as a person, finding it very hard to know where she's from. So this confusion that she feels. Also the fact that her own father dismisses his own culture by saying African chiefs nonsense, he says. So here, nonsense is a really strong word, and it just highlights how even her father has disappropriated his own culture, which again makes her journey even more confusing and also contradicting, as even her father, who normally your family would pass on their culture, their heritage, he does not fulfill this role. So she's left very confused. Yes, and also the fact that her father also seemed to be in disguise the whole time. So he put on the white mask, the image of the alabaster, so the image that he is, although he is African, he has taken on the role of a white Christian man. So she doesn't really know who she belongs to. So there's this idea of confusion of cultural heritage, cultural identity. So who does she belong to? Yes, I think this is what makes this poem extremely interesting, as we go on this journey with her. So the first 5 stanzas, it would appear that she is on this journey. She condemns her father, she accuses her father of not having this culture, and then the last 2 stanzas, it almost appears that she becomes more at peace with this idea, and that maybe she has already fulfilled her journey and this was just a telling of the story. And although she is looking for her own culture, her true origins, she herself is westernized, so that is maybe a slightly contradicting point of the poem.